What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and in this video I'm doing my preview and top 10 predictions for the 2022 New York Pro being held this weekend. And I'm going to ask the question, can Blessing Awodibu make it 2 from 2 and get that New York Pro win after qualifying for the Olympia last weekend? Also, I'll touch on a few of the other divisions as well and show you guys all the competitor lineups. Hope you guys enjoy the video. What's up, desktopers? Now, before we get into this one, I want to encourage you guys, if you like and appreciate this content that I'm putting out, please give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up for myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. We've got bodybuilding news, we've got contest coverage, including this weekend's New York Pro, where I'm going to have a pre-judging and a finals review on that, plus interviews and much more. So make sure you do subscribe. So let's get straight into this. I'm going to start with the open men. I'm going to go from 10th all the way up to 1st and show you guys a few physique updates along the way as well. So let's start in 10th place, and I've got Slavov Bednar. Now, he competed last weekend at the Indy Pro and he placed 8th. Absolutely shredded. He's got very dense muscle. He doesn't have the best shape. He's not the biggest guy on stage, but he's good enough to place him at top 10 and take out guys that really should actually be beating him as well. So I've got Slavov in 10th. In 9th place, I have Dorian Haywood. He actually placed 6th last weekend, and he looked pretty damn good overall. He's very, very consistent. He always comes in good condition or great condition. The issue I have with his physique is just his lower body, because his upper body is so round and full and big, but his lower body, he's really lacks a bit of sweep on his quads, and I think that hurts him overall. But if he comes in condition, he can definitely knock some of the guys off that I've predicted ahead of him as well. In 8th place, I have Theo Laguera. Now, I love this dude's physique, and 8th place is quite low for Theo as well. But based on some of these pre-contest pictures, he looks great. He looks like he's put on some size. His legs look huge. But when I'm seeing him from the side here, like his side leg just doesn't look quite hard enough to be placing right up in the top 5 in some of these shows. Now, if he comes in a lot harder, if he's able to drop a bit of water and it's mostly water that he's holding, I think he can do quite well. But if he comes in looking like this on stage, I just don't think it will be quite hard enough yet. I'm assuming he'll do a few contests this year, and he'll probably get harder each show he does. In 7th place, I have Marius Tomzuk. Now, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not, but I've actually never heard of this guy before until I saw his pre-contest pictures after checking him out on Instagram, and I'm pretty damn impressed. Now, Instagram, you can only go so far into it, but you can tell he's balanced from head to toe. He's got a lot of progress pictures up there as well. I don't think he's quite as thick and round from the back as he is from the front. But overall, I think if he's in good shape, if he's got a very balanced physique like that, then I think that he'll be able to do pretty damn well in this show. And I'm impressed by these pre-contest pictures. In 6th place, I have Andrea Presti. Now, he actually won a show last year and qualified for the Olympia. He was either in last or second last place at the Olympia, but obviously getting to the Olympia full stop is a great achievement. Now, seeing some of these pre-contest pictures, I'm looking at photos from like 4 weeks out where he looks quite impressive. He looks shredded. He's got the glutes in already at that stage. And I'm looking at some more recent ones on his Instagram, and they're ones from the back where you can see his glutes are absolutely shredded, but his back maybe lacks a little bit of depth, and I think that will hurt him in this lineup, because there's a few guys with pretty decent backs in this lineup, including the guy that I've just predicted one spot ahead of him, and that's Justin Rodriguez, who came in 4th last weekend, and I was predicting him to win the show. He sort of lacked the conditioning. He maybe looked a little bit flat as well. And I think his body's just overall tired. Now, they may have miscalculated a few things at the last minute as well, because I thought the pre-contest pictures, he was definitely looking better than he looked on stage. And Justin's generally just posts his photos straight up. It's not like he's filtering them like crazy or anything like that. So I think that he'll probably come in better this weekend. I don't think he'll slip further unless, his body is just absolutely worn out and is just not responding anymore. So I think he'll come in a bit better. Will it be good enough to push up in placings? Probably not, but if he is able to actually rectify that and come in really hard at this weekend's contest, then no doubt he could push up and actually win this contest. But for now, I've got him in 5th place. In 4th, I have Peter Clancier. Now, he was actually meant to compete last weekend at the Indy Pro, but he had some travel issues and all that sort of stuff, so he wasn't actually able to get to the contest. I'm super impressed by Peter Clancier. I think he's been overlooked in the past in some contests, and based on his pre-contest pictures, he's looking pretty damn impressive. The question will be, is he going to be hard enough to take out a bunch of these names? And will he be hard enough to potentially actually win this show? Because from the front and from the side, he's crazy impressive. From the back, sometimes I think he could have a little bit more muscle on that back overall, just to fill out his huge frame. But overall, I'm very impressed with Peter Clancy, and no doubt he can place higher than this if he is in great condition. In third place, I have Amir Omiragic. Now, he actually placed 5th at the Arnold South America, and there's a lot of guys very similar to him that had the really shredded physiques, and not like they have crazy aesthetic shapes, but he's really, really hard. He's only 23 years of age. He placed second in a show late last year, and I think here he's going to be very, very conditioned, and he'll take out some guys that perhaps should even beat Amir, but I think his conditioning will be so good that he'll actually knock a few names off. So I've got him placing 3rd here. In second, I have Max Charles, who came 3rd last weekend at the Indy Pro. Obviously, we don't have Charles Griffin at this show, so that moves him up 1 spot. And I think that Max will probably get a little bit harder. I think he was better at finals than he was at pre-judging last weekend. And Max has sort of got 2 physiques. He's got the physique from the front, where he's, ultra shredded, ultra hard, and then he's got his physique from the back, where he's not quite as conditioned. So if he's able to catch that backside up to his front side in this show, I think he can, potentially not win this show, but he can definitely place that top 2 and push Blessing Awodibu, who obviously I have winning this show. He won last weekend at the Indy Pro, and obviously having Max placing in second, I don't see anyone beating Blessing Awodibu. Although you do have a guy like Peter Clancy, who is a bit of a wild card in this show. But Blessing really did bring it last weekend. I was surprised. He brought up body parts like crazy. I did a bit of a before and after from last year's Indy Pro to this year's Indy Pro, and he made some dramatic improvements. He was a lot fuller. His legs were a lot bigger. He really filled out his physique, and his back was a lot better as well, which was sort of a knocks on him, was his legs and his back. And he brought those up. He came in bigger and in better condition. And overall, I was very, very impressed. So the combination of George Farah and Blessing Awodibu definitely is working. And I think he'll get this win. And if he does win this show, he's got 2 pro wins under his belt. And that's damn impressive, because not many guys actually get 2 pro wins in their career, full stop. There's some great bodybuilders out there that have 1 or 2 or 3 pro wins, and he will have 2 under his belt if he's able to win this weekend in New York and win that New York Pro ring as well. But let me know what you think in the comments below. How's your placings? How's your top 5, your top 3? Who do you have winning the contest, and who could potentially surprise some of these guys as well? Now let's touch on a few of the other classes. I'm just going to mention some of the top names that stick out to me. In the 212, the 2 names that stick out to me in the 212s is Noel Adame, who competed last weekend and placed 2nd at that Indy Pro, and Derik Oslan. So Noel Adame, I'll start with him. He's got the crazy hanging hamstrings from the side. He was in great condition. He's got some real thickness to his physique, and many people thought he could have actually even won last weekend at that Indy Pro, but he places 2nd, and he'll be hoping to obviously win this show and qualify for the 2022 Mr. Olympia in the 212s as well. And he definitely has a chance at doing that this weekend, with the 1st place finisher from last weekend not competing this weekend, at least according to the competitors list. And the other guy that really sticks out as well is Derik Oslan. Now, a couple of years ago, he actually finished, I think it was about 6th or 7th in the 212 Olympia. He looked crazy impressive. He's got a tiny, tiny waist. From his waist, his lats just come out like crazy, and he's got huge arms and big legs. So he's really not lacking a lot. When he comes in crazy condition, that's when his physique really sort of sticks out in a lineup, because you see the proportions, you see the crazy conditioning, and you go, wow, this dude is crazy. And if he keeps improving on that, then he's obviously going to be placing right up there in the top 5 at the 212 Olympia. He slipped a little bit the next year, which I think was last year, I believe. Didn't place where he wanted to, didn't get to the Olympia, I believe. And I think that he's going to come back based off some of these pre-contest pictures. He's looking pretty damn good. And if you can bring the conditioning from the back, I think that he can win this 212 show. I am picking Noel Adame. He's the safer bet for this 212. But Derik Oslan, I'm a big fan. In the men's physique, 2 names that stick out to me is Sadik Hadzovic and Kyron Holden. Sadik obviously won, I believe it was last weekend or the weekend before at the Pittsburgh Pro. I think it was 2 weekends ago at Pittsburgh. In the men's physique, in his men's physique comeback, and I thought he looked absolutely outrageous. I sent Sadik a message and said, man, you look crazy. And he said something about, he thinks he's getting better with age, and I totally agree as well. And he's getting a certain better level of conditioning, I think, as well. And he's got that maturity and that hardness for muscle. So I think that it's going to be a very interesting show, because Kyron Holden is a consistent guy that places up in that top 5 of the men's physique Olympia. And Kyron has a huge amount of thickness. So Sadik has the crazy structure with the super, super wide shoulders, and Kyron is a thicker guy. So it's going to be interesting to see what the judges go for. And if Sadik is able to win this show, it really establishes Sadik as a top 5 guy going into the Olympia in 2022. But let me know all your predictions for the 212, the open, the men's physique, and the bikini. If you want to let me know in the comments below, it'd be much appreciated. I love to get your guys' opinion, and sometimes it sways my opinion even after I put these videos out as well. And if you guys like and appreciate this content, please give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up from myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. Also head to hdmuscle.com, enter the code DESKTOP. You'll save yourself 10% on some amazing supplements. If there's discounts on there already, you'll get an extra 10% off when you use Desktop. The link is in the description below as well to get that discount. So that's it for me. For Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding, we are out.